my name is Beth Hiley here for Board Game Geek TV at Gen Con 2013. I'm sitting down with John Kowaleski,
yes.
who has brought us the very highly anticipated Firefly,
yes.
the board game.
Yep.
Yeah, so you were just saying before we went live that there's been a few tussles at your booth to get your hands on
it's
this.
been crazy. So first day we came out, we set them out, and when I looked up, we had gone through our first 2 days allocation in 20 minutes. So I'm like, all right, stop. This morning we came in, we had 300 copies. We made them available. They were gone in 6 minutes.
Well, I'm glad it's doing well.
It's doing wonderful. Yep.
All right. Well, now why don't you give us? Because I haven't seen the inside of this yet either, even
Great.
though it's been the talk of the convention. So I'm as anticipatory as everyone else.
All
is
right.
out there.
So Firefly.
I'm also a big fan of the show. So.
Wonderful. Firefly, the game. Find a crew, find a job, keep flying.
Stay shiny.
Stay shiny. I'm going to give a call out to Margaret Wise, who makes an absolutely wonderful role-play game.
Oh yeah, I saw that's also here.
That's also here. They're having a Gen Con.
It might be. We have a whole block specifically put aside tomorrow for role-playing games. She might be
Wonderful.
stopping by. I don't know.
So, rulebook, 20 pages, with everything you need to know to play the game.
You'd hope so in a rulebook.
I would hope so.
Sorry to be a little cheeky.
All good.
There.
20 by 30 game board.
Ooh, all right. We should we want to have
With
it
as
facing
accurate a
us.
map as we could possibly have come up with.
and just if anyone can see this, just says "Travel the Verse" on the side of the box.
We have travel posters.
Oh, cool.
And that's actually important because when you read this, it gives you a little clue as to what each location has.
Yeah,
so during
Persephone.
gameplay.
Well, I got all this stuff in the box. That might be a little hard. All right, there's our travel posters. Persephone, Regina.
I don't think it's
You
Regina.
don't know. Space Bazaar, Osiris Shipworks,
Yep.
so on and so on. All right, keep going.
Wonderful. All right. Lots of tokens. You got to have Wash's Dinosaur.
Oh, yay.
So,
Curse you, inevitable betrayal.
absolutely. And coming on later on Facebook, when you come back, check us out on the Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Firefly, the game. We're going to have a Show Us Your Dinosaur promotion. So if you show us the game with your dinosaur and you take a picture of it and send it to us, we're going to send you a special Wash promo card.
Oh, neat.
Just for him, which is very cool.
That's a really cute
Warrant
promotion.
tokens when the law's out to get you. Passenger tokens. This is a general card that tells you what happens if an alliance contact comes up to you versus what happens when the Reavers come.
Oh, all right.
Gold tokens, fugitives. Disgruntled tokens, which are very cool little buttons.
That's it.
Your fuel, your parts,
Cargo.
Now, we have 4 different ships. We have the Serenity, Firefly. It's got a Mark I core, list price, crew, Series 3. Okay? All of these are set up to be the same. In future expansions, we're going to have other kind of ships, other kind of cores,
Okay,
and different
so
kind of
these
stuff.
are all Firefly.
These
type
are all
ships,
Firefly
and just
class
different
ships,
names.
yes. So, the Young Kwai, which means lucky lady in Chinese. We have the Bonnie May, which her picture has been painted as nose art on the side of the front. And the Bonanza.
Oh, it's got a little.
It's got a little bit on the inside. Now, we call this a Sandbox theme game. What that means is that you can pretty much play any way you want. You are not locked into a particular playing style. So if you want to be the dashing rogue and be proper and do your thing, you can do that. If you want to be an absolute scoundrel, you can do that. You want to be moral, you want to be immoral, play any way you want. All you have to do is complete the goal.
Those are humongous cards. by
These
the
are
way.
story cards.
Now as I'm looking at how much text is on them, it's really.
So the game itself has multiple endings.
Here, we'll move some of these
Yep.
off here. There we go.
You will pick an ending randomly when you start. You will see how long it wants to take. 2-hour games, 1 hour solo play,
wow.
2-hour game, 2-hour game, 2-hour
That is
game.
really useful.
What's really cool about this is that we are going to open this up to the public. and allow
To
them to
create.
start creating their own. And then we're going to have a big competition, and the best ones are actually going to get published. We're going to make a book, put them all together.
I was going to say, and the rest will probably be populated on BGG anyway.
Absolutely. So it's going to be great. So we will absolutely put out a blank so people can start playing around with it and doing some cool stuff.
And just to give an idea, if people can't read it, we got Niska's Holiday, Awful Lonely in the Big Black, that's a solo one, Respectable, in quotes, Persons of Business, The King of All, Londinium, Harkin's Folly, Desperados.
And Desperados. So some are money-based endings, get a certain amount of money at a certain point you can win, and others are goal-based endings. So for this particular one, King of All Londinium, you basically the mission is that you're going to steal the crown jewels from the King of Londinium. To do that, you must first manufacture a fake one. So you have to go out, acquire the goods to do that, you make the fake crown, steal the real crown, do the swap, and then deliver it.
So in each one of those, I'm sure,
Yeah.
has to happen in the correct sequence.
Absolutely.
Obviously.
So you work your way through, you do what it asks you to do, and when you go, these little cards here, these are your misbehave cards. So once you get to a particular location you have to misbehave, you will, and we have to go through and grab a bunch of cards out here. We'll sort these
There
out.
they are.
So, I think I'm getting ahead of myself as far as that's gone. So you've got, these are your movement cards. These are your leader cards.
And if it wasn't obvious to everyone at this point, you obviously got the licensing rights.
Absolutely.
From
Yep.
whomever you needed to get licensing rights from.
Yep. And opposite to popular belief, Fox has actually been wonderful to work with all of this. They have been great partners.
Out there in the public sphere.
They have been great partners. They are absolutely making us stay true to what we're doing. They're not letting us deviate. But with that said, they're letting us be creative, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking the fact that to let people sort of drive some of the future goals of the game.
Absolutely. So quickly, let's go ahead and grab Serenity.
All right, there we go.
So if you happen to be playing Serenity, you will own the Serenity ship. That is yours. You will pick a leader. Let's pick Mel just because it's simple.
All right, it's classic.
So we got Mel over here.
Okay,
Now let's look at Mel real quick.
We want to put it right about in the white sun because that's the center of our shot.
So Mel is a pilot. He is also a soldier. He is moral. He has 2 shooting ability, and he has 1 negotiate ability. All right. When you're doing things later on, you're going to have to misbehave to acquire things. You will flip over a misbehave card, and you will do what it says.
Kill the alarm.
Kill the alarm. There's 2 ways to get out of anything, sometimes 3. If you have an alarm go off, you have to attempt to pass a bypass. Now, in this particular case, you need to have 5+ of engineering skill. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have any engineering skill. If Kaylee was out here, you would see her 3 engineering on there. Mm-hmm. You will roll a Firefly dice. You will add it to the number, and if your number is higher than it is, you go from there.
Firefly as the 6.
Now, in the rule book, when you look through, there's a rule called Lucky Firefly. Should the Firefly pop up when you roll the dice, you automatically get a 6 and get to re-roll and add it to it.
Oh, hey.
So no matter how dire the situation is, there's always a chance that you're going to be able to pull out of it. So, in this case, we don't have a lot of mechanical skill, but we have guns.
Okay, just shoot the Gorham thing.
Just shoot the Gorham thing. So you're going to add your 2, but if you have more of a crew when you start going through things, so let me go through and grab some other cards here.
It's never the priority.
It's never the card I'm trying to grab.
It's always the
there
last
we
one
go.
you grab.
So let's say that Mel had his pistol.
Okay.
And let's say that Wash was on board. And let's say that, of course, I don't have one I'm looking through. But let's pretend Jane was out, and let's say that Jane had his rifle along with him. You would go up and you would start totaling things up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That works towards the total.
Okay.
You would roll the dice, take what you have, add to it.
So we have a total of 10.
Right. And you would have passed.
Exactly.
Had you totally miffed it, you might have got a warrant issued. On a warrant issued, should an alliance ship find you later on during the play, they're going to give you problems. And back and forth. There's also keywords. On the bottom of cards, there are 7 different keywords in the game. In this particular rig, hacking rig. Should I have owned a hacking rig, or if a person had hacking rig ability, it would have been an auto pass.
Oh, all right.
So what you're trying to do is collect keywords and keep a balanced shift. the verse rewards those that are prepared. So you kind of want to be, don't balance out on one side. You're going to auto pass some things, and other things you're just going to get destroyed. Other components, the money in this is wonderful.
Oh yeah, that is beautiful.
The designer that did the money for the show sent us an email and says, I see you're doing the things, I love it. I need to do your money. And they're like,
wow.
Well, what's this going to cost? And they're like, no, you don't understand. I love Firefly. I want to do the money.
Wow.
So people have been really, really cool.
Do you know his name off the top of your head?
It's in the rule book, and
all right, we'll have to get.
It's in the back. Hang on, we're gonna
yeah,
find this right now because he was super
out.
cool. There we go, Benjamin Mund.
Benjamin Mund, yay! Thank you for being so
Benjamin,
generous.
you're awesome.
Yeah, I know, we're putting the money out. We're getting there.
So
people.
there's his 100 credits. There's his 500 credit note.
Wow.
Here's his 1,000 credit note. And there's a 2,000 credit
So
note.
that's identical to what you see in the show, at least.
Well,
the
some are new,
artwork-wise?
but he made it in the same style
Okay.
to go because we needed different denominations.
That is spectacular. I mean, that's a really nice heavyweight paper.
Absolutely.
Too.
No, it's wonderful. And we've already had a bunch of guys say, I just want the money. And I'm like, well,
I'm going to play Monopoly
we'll get
with
there.
it.
Or something. Actually, that'd be fun. So along that line, you get a bunch of plastic figures. So if you notice kind of an orange top here, the Bonanza's got a green. You're going to have your particular ship that matches up. So we made the Serenity kind of an off orange because it kind of worked. We made the Reaver nice bright red, so everybody noticed the busted wing and all the bolted craziness.
Right here, we'll put that right in the middle too, just
Cool.
so people can see it.
And at the con, we made some hand cast resin Alliance ships because the mold wasn't quite ready for us to make it here in time. So we're like, this is going to be at the show, so we hand cast.
Oh, good for you guys.
1,000 ships, so that our fans would be able to play.
Right, because that, and in fact, I'm going to let Adam zoom in on that. We might even flip it to the side.
All right. So in addition to, we got tons of cards, I wanted to go over movement real quick.
Sure.
Let's say we're over here and we want to fly over to Ariel. Actually, let's put it over here to make it more interesting.
And this will probably be the last thing we'll look at.
That's fine. So let's say we need to go 1, 2, 3. There's 3 spaces to get over here. A ship can mosey at any time, doesn't cost fuel. So mosey, nice and safe. You can avoid Reavers, you can avoid Alliance. You slide 1 space, doesn't cost anything. Or
and would this count as 1 space as long as they are connected
1
somehow?
space, and you're going to do what your drive course says, which says you can go range 5 if you initiate a burn. So you're going to take one of your fuel tokens off of your cargo space, you're going to spend it, you're going to start burning. Now to move, you're going to move 1 space. Inside the blue is Alliance space. Border space is the yellow border. So if you move 1 space, you're going to flip over a border space card and you're going to do what it says. So let's flip one over. Family dinner. In this particular case, if you have a cargo, you can spend it to remove a disgruntled tokens. Why would somebody become disgruntled? You find a job, you do the job, you get paid. If you don't get paid, you're angry. So if you're low on cash and you need it for something else, you cannot pay your crew. They will get angry. They will get a disgruntled button on them. If they get 2, they will leave your ship. When someone is disgruntled, just like Jane was in the fight down on the planet, someone else can move into your sector and hire them away from you. So you want to keep your people happy. So that's one way to kind of screw with your buddy as you're doing different sort of things. So in this particular case, nobody's disgruntled. I'm going to keep on flying. So I'll move now into another space. Let's say I want to go over here. I'll flip over another card. Big black, keep on flying. Now I am in Alliance space. You now flip the Alliance space card. Bum, 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 Alliance cruiser.
And run, they're pulling us in.
And what's the Alliance cruiser says? It says move cruiser to your sector.
Boom.
He's moved into your space.
There's where the warrants come in.
If you have a warrant, you must pay 1,000 fly. That will clear your warrants. Any contraband or fugitives you have are now seized and taken away. So there are customs inspections, there are other things. This particular one is the major whammy card, and that makes you reshuffle everything. So during gameplay, as you're going through this deck, as you're getting less and less card, you know this is coming. And everybody's like, I don't want to be in Alliance space. Everybody's avoiding and doing other kind of things. But you can hide things in your stash, which will hide them from the Alliance. And yeah, there's all kinds of different stuff in there.
Well, last question before we let you go.
Yes.
Now, this was obviously, you kind of got a pack of games here for Gen Con. When do you think this will be available for full
This
release?
is going to be out for global release. It's on the ship right now. It's hitting here to the States. It's going to be here, I would say, in stores end of September, first week of October. We're going to try to get out end of September.
All right. Well, thank you so much
No problem.
for coming by and showing us Firefly, the board game.
No, enjoy.